Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm wondering if you would mind telling applicants how you ended up at UT and a little bit of your story during your time here and what you like about it and what keeps you here.
That's a really good question. I've been here for a very long time. I was recruited out of internal medicine training to do my cardiology training here by Lance Gould, who has built quite a cardiology establishment here. And I did my fellowship here and then continued on in the early phases of cardiac electrophysiology and developed into an electrophysiologist. And I've been here ever since.
That's amazing. You know, to me, seeing the Texas Medical Center now, it's such a stunning place. I'm curious, how has it changed during your time here? And I guess both structurally and sort of personality-wise.
Yeah, well, structurally, there's no comparison. I mean, it was a big medical center to begin with, but it is a gigantic medical center now, and extending well beyond the Texas Medical Center property. But when I came, it was still an era that the medical center was dominated by the two giants of cardiology, honestly, Dougherty and Cooley. And so obviously they've passed on, and the rest of the group has developed and taken its own personality and gone much further.
And obviously now you're.
Yeah, it was a time with these titan egos, so it was interesting politics at the time.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you're one of the giants. You're a leader in electrophysiology in our department. I'm curious sort of what you appreciate about your division and what you see as the strengths at this point.
You know, it is so robust. We now have, when I came, there were 1, 2, 3, 5 faculty in cardiology when I started my cardiology fellowship, and I can't count them now. I mean, they're probably 40 or so, maybe 50. And it's not just cardiology. We have all the different branches. When I first came out of my internal medicine training, there was, where I trained in internal medicine, the treatment, and as everywhere, was when someone had an acute MI, you would put them to bed rest in the CCU and treat the complications as they arose. And on the second day, you could dangle their feet off the edge of the bed. And so, but Lance had started this program that was really innovative. That was one of the reasons I came, which was taking patients in the throes of an acute MI and giving them intracoronary streptokinase in the cath lab. Yeah, it was anathema at the time to take somebody to the cath lab during an acute MI. It was considered too dangerous, but we were doing it, giving them intracoronary, it wasn't streptokinase. At any rate, giving them clot busters, IV at the time, and finding that we were saving heart muscle. So it was an exciting time, to actually be able to do something to save heart muscle, to make people's lives better.
Wow, I can't even imagine that, to be present for that transition, because now cardiology is all about the procedures and door to balloon time and everything else. Can you tell me more about that transition, and then maybe about how you ended up in electrophysiology, which is just such an amazing combination of procedures? And obviously we've shared patients who appreciate so much, your bedside manner and longitudinal care.
Let's see, your first question was, how has the treatment changed?
Well, yeah, just like
Um,
what, I mean, tell me more about, so you were just starting to send people to the cath lab and people thought you were
mhm.
crazy Texans, it sounds like. And then
Right.
how did it sort
We
of
and we
take
were
hold?
considered to be cowboys. It is
Yeah.
now obviously the standard of care. Yes. Um,
And yeah.
so, and you know, we'd go to national meetings and people would roll their eyes, and then you know they gradually became believers that we were doing the right thing. So it was exciting, and it was fun to be part of a program that was doing innovative things, cutting edge things, but also making such a difference in people's lives. Now, how I grew into EP had a great deal to do with mentorship. One of those faculty was Jerry Neccarelli, who was the first EP here and started the program. Actually, I arrived for fellowship about 10 days after he arrived as a new faculty member. And he started the EP program. And he really sort of took me under his wing, and I found that I just, you know, loved arrhythmia solving, puzzle solving, treating arrhythmias, and again, being able to do something to help people. Of course, at that time, doing something meant throwing medicine at them. But still, we were figuring out what was going on, and we could do something about it. We could give them pacemakers and devices. And then along the way, in around mid-1980s, started actually with very primitive forms of ablation. And in 1988, we were one of the first 4 centers in the world to use radiofrequency energy for catheter ablation. That was really revolutionary. It's still the standard. You know, there are evolving types of ablation energy now, but radiofrequency is still the coin of the realm. And so to be able to actually cure some arrhythmias was just groundbreaking and very satisfying. So there are lots of parts of EP that I love. Just a lot of it's the puzzle solving and the intellectual process. A lot of it is just simpatico with the kind of patients and what they go through, and then the gratification of actually being able to make huge differences in people's lives.
Definitely, I've seen that. And then we were talking a little bit about where EP is now and the fellowship that you run and the division. Can you tell me a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about the current state of EP at UT?
We now have 10 or 11 faculty members in EP, and they're very, very busy clinically. The mothership is here at the Texas Medical Center at Memorial Hermann, but we have our faculty going out to, I can't count them anymore, how many other sites, clinics, and EP labs around the metropolitan area and a few outside the metropolitan area. And our fellows, we have 5 EP fellows right now, and they spend most of their time at the medical center, but they also go to 5 of the satellite areas to get more of a community EP feeling. They go to the labs there, they do clinics at all these sites. But we have currently 3 first-year fellows and 2 second-year fellows.
Amazing. And then tell me a little bit about life outside of the hospital, if you don't mind. Sounds like you've lived in
That's
Houston for
fine.
a long time. What do you like to do here? What are the things and hobbies that that you enjoy when you're not here?
Well, I'm a recovering soccer mom, so you know, we are season ticket holders to the Dynamo, and frequently go to see the Dash 2, the women's team. So that's fun. Let's see, I enjoy gardening and yeah, have a lot of family here in town. So I'm a Houston native. I'm really a rare breed. I'm a Houston native and still have a lot of extended family here in the area. So we get together frequently.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, is there anything else that you think applicants should know that I haven't asked you about, or any other advice you have for them?
One thing I'd say is if you're interested in cardiology, get some experience. Start getting your experience early in your residency. And although we don't have a usual elective in EP, we occasionally do have residents who are interested and will take a month spending an elective time with us. So we're happy to have you on the service and get a better taste of what real EP is about.